Hey, so today I'm going to be talking about a game because I said that when I beat a game that I've never played before, I'd prefer to just talk about it, even if it's not exactly, a well known game or not. And I don't really know how well known this game is, or if it isn't at all, I don't know. And I literally just did a video where I'm like, oh, I probably shouldn't do very long videos, but I don't really know how long this will be. I'm just basically going to talk about a game. But anyway, the game I want to talk about is called Red Bow. Now, I don't know when the fuck the game was made. I think it was 2019, something like that. But I think it was like released on consoles in 2020. And it's made by Strange. I don't know. It's like the word strange, but instead of an e at the end, it's an a. So I think it's Strange. I don't know. But it's a small game. It's not a very long game. It's like one of those like it kind of looks like an RP. It's not. I don't think it's an RPG Maker game, but it kind of like the pixel style of it reminds me of like original Pokemon, like old Pokemon, and it's one of those just like pixel horror games with like three endings depending on what you do, and there's not like a lot of like ooh boo jump scares or a lot of like crazy gameplay mechanics, right? It's kind of just like the whole purpose is you play as a little girl named Ro, and your goal is to help spirits in this like afterlife, and you're supposed to help them like move on. Or if you want the bad ending, you can ignore their problems and make it worse, and then of course get the bad ending. So obviously there's the good ending, then there's the better ending, which I thought the better ending was like supposed to be better than the good ending, right? I thought it was supposed to be like, oh, here's the good ending, but here's the better ending. But apparently the better ending is the middle ending, which I guess I didn't really get because I don't know, I got the better ending and then I was like looking up how to get like the good ending and I was like, okay, I guess the good ending's the middle ending, but it wasn't. Good ending was the best ending, and I was confused by the fact that the middle ending is called the better ending. But whatever. Sorry, my throat's fucked up. Anyway, like I said, the game's about a girl named Ro who has to help spirits in the afterlife. I don't know, come to terms with their death, help them move on, help them find peace. And then there's these like little demon monsters in each one that, you know, they're not very good. But you can either make things worse or you can like even like change the monster's mind and have them be like, "Oh shit, maybe I'm bad." So, the game it's interesting, you know. It's not bad. It like I think it's pretty good, and the stories, like I said, it's short because like the first one, it's like, oh, you're helping a lady who hung herself come with terms that her baby is dead, and obviously you can make that worse, or you can have her come to terms with it, or again you can get they call it the better ending, but I feel like it'd just be called a neutral ending because you can do something good, but it's not like so good that you get like the good ending, but it's not bad that you get the bad ending. And so then, of course, and there's a second level that has like a lady with like a fucked up mouth, and she's like a monster or whatever. And she kind of does the Kuchisaki Onna thing of the "Do you think I'm pretty?" while covering her mouth, and then shows her mouth and asks it again type thing. And then the third one is dealing with like a drunken captain who killed his entire crew by being drunk. And it's basically just like helping them come to terms with it, or making it worse, or doing kind of the bare minimum to the point where you don't get a good ending. And the weird thing about all three of the endings is all three of the endings are kind of the same. The only difference is how Ro acts at the end, and but the reality is all three endings lead to Ro waking up from this like afterlife and going back home. So like there's no like I thought the bad ending would be like, oh, Ro gets trapped in the afterlife, or Ro becomes a monster herself. But no, the bad ending is she's just a bitch, right? That's her bad ending. Her bad ending is you go up to this lighthouse, there's like this monster that has like an unborn child inside her that they died in like a car crash or something. And then Ro's just like, if you get the bad ending, Rose just like, yeah, I don't fucking care about any of this. I just want to go home. Like, I don't care about second chances or anyone here. Just send me home. And the monster's just like, well, fine, okay. And then she goes home and then she just throws a temper tantrum. Which I think like the bad ending is like supposed to imply that she's like breaking the fourth wall because she's like yelling at the player to like wake her up. So I don't really know. But like all three endings lead to Ro waking up. And then the better ending is like it's so weird because it's like such a nothing ending because it's just like Ro shows up and the monster's like everyone deserves a second chance, don't you think? And Ro's like I don't know, and they're like okay, whatever, get out. And the demon just kicks her out and she wakes up and she's like oh well okay. That like that's literally it. She just wakes up and she's like oh okay. Like she literally has like no dialogue to it. She doesn't care that she fucked up. She doesn't care that she failed whatever she was doing, and the monster was just like quick to kick her out. And it was like well, shit. What's the point? Like it was the middle ending, which I still think should just be called the neutral ending, but I don't know why it's called the better ending. Like it was such a weird ending because it was so like, what was the point? At that point, you might as well just had the good and bad ending because the neutral ending was literally. I mean, I guess it fits because if it's technically a neutral ending, it's nothing. Like it's just neutral. The monster's like fed up with you. Like yeah, whatever. You can't answer my question. Leave. And then Ro just wakes up and she's like, oh, okay, well, whatever. And that's it. And then of course the good ending where I think everyone would expect when it's like come to that, Ro has like a good answer and she's like, yes, everyone deserves a second chance. Even your unborn child who died in the car crash, they deserve a chance. They should have had a chance. And she makes the monster lady believe. And then the red bow that Ro is wearing throughout the whole time, she gives to the monster because the monster wants to have the red bow as a symbol of hope in the afterlife. And then Ro wakes up, and that's it. Like all endings are literally just Ro wakes up, and that's it. And depending on the ending, you just get which kind of Ro you get. You get the happy Ro, you get the uncertain Ro, or you get the complete asshole Ro. But overall, I think it's a pretty good game. This video is 7 minutes. I literally said like, oh, I need to do like 1 to 2 minute videos, but I took medicine, so I think my throat's feeling a little better. But I don't know. But I think the game's good. I like the pixel style. Like I said, it reminds me of like old like Game Boy Color game, like original Game Boy, like Pokemon Red and Blue. It reminds me of that. And well, it's not like the most like engaging like gameplay. Like it's not like something where you're like, holy shit, I just dodged that monster. Like there's like two endings in the whole, or there's like two like times that you can actually die in the whole game, and it just has to do with like minor things that you wouldn't notice. Also, I got it on the PlayStation because it was like on sale. I also got Doom 64 alongside it, and I got all the trophies. It's like the first game I've gotten like all achievements in. Actually, I don't think that's true. I think I did get all achievements in like two other Xbox games, but it's my first PlayStation game with all achievements. Which I'm going to be honest, it's not a very hard game to get all the trophies, but still did it nonetheless. But I think the endings are kind of weird, where it's just she wakes up and there's nothing more to it. But overall, I think the story's pretty decent. I think it's pretty good, and I like that you can just be an uncaring asshole to all their problems, and you're just like, no, I want out. I don't give a shit about helping these spirits. I want out. Or you can be sympathetic, or you can just try to be sympathetic but fuck it up, and then the monster's just like, you're an idiot, and you're like, oh. But overall, I think Red Bow's really good. I think it's pretty good. It's fun. Like it does have its like moments when you're like trying to get the other endings where it kind of gets a little tedious, like running back and forth. You're like, okay, I gotta go grab this, and I gotta grab the lighter, then I gotta do this, and I gotta grab the power cable, then I gotta do it. And you're kind of just like trying to remember, like, okay, I gotta make sure to grab the picture, then I gotta go here, I gotta talk to this lady, then I gotta go grab this item, I gotta set the fireworks off. And it eventually gets to a point where you're just like, Jesus fucking Christ, I have to do this again. And sometimes you have to mash through dialogue if you're trying to get different endings. But overall, I think the story's pretty good. I think it's a pretty entertaining game. So, yeah, I mean, it's not a very long game. It's pretty short. So, yeah, Red Bow's pretty good. So, yeah, whatever.